Thank you. Well, thank you for so many of you taking the trouble to come tonight. It's really nice to see a packed room. And when I first stood for the GLA, well, actually I stood for mayor when I first stood. That didn't work. I did also go for the consolation prize of studying for an assembly member, which obviously did work. And when I first stood for mayor and said that I wanted to see cycling as a major part of transport policy and transport vision and transport infrastructure in London, it was seen as really quite quaint and eccentric at the time. But it really is encouraging to see the shift that we've had in London, how many more people want to cycle, the growth in cycling and so on. But all too often we still hear of these really tragic incidents, and all too often we hear of so many people who are put off from cycling simply because they don't feel safe, and we do need to tackle that, which is partly the motivation last year behind the Assembly's Transport Committee's commitment to doing a major investigation in this. And this was the report that we came out with, Gearing Up, and we heard from cyclists. We had a good roundtable session with cyclists. We heard from experts overseas in Scandinavia and Holland and so on. We heard from TfL, from the boroughs, and I'm really pleased with what came out of that. And if you look at the recommendations, they include appointing a commissioner to champion cycling. Well, is a czar rather than commissioner, but we got that, so that one's ticked off. Thank you, Andrew. More space on London's roads for cyclists. We are seeing now the shift in the cycling vision with the commitment to going Dutch. More action on outer London cycling. We have the proposal in the cycling vision for these 4 mini Hollands in outer London boroughs. I'd like to see a lot more than that, but certainly that's an important step in the right direction and a good start. And another key recommendation is at least £100 million be spent on making junctions safer. Again, that has been agreed. Where we didn't win the battle this time was over the recommendation in our report that 2% of TfL's budget should be committed to cycling, and that should continue to rise as a proportion of cycle trips also rises. We haven't got that enshrined yet, and we haven't even got the money for the 2% yet. We haven't got that enshrined in TfL's budget making policy so far. But the total budget for cycling in the next 3 years did go up to 52 million, up by 52 million pounds, and I think that's thanks to all the lobbying, the work of both the Assembly members during the budget debate, and all the lobbying that we got from cyclists. And I think I got counted at one stage 6,700 emails urging me to support a motion that was drafted by my own party that I was always going to vote for anyway. But it was good to see that level of enthusiasm and commitment. I think that just demonstrates some of the passion that is felt by Londoners now for cycling. And above all, in that report that we did, we wanted to see action from the mayor on the issue of safety, which, as we know, is the biggest barrier to more and more people taking up cycling and really having a cycling revolution in London. So some of the ideas that are flagged up in the Assembly report include making HGV safety training a condition of planning and development consent for all borough and mayoral planning applications that come here. The Mayor, TfL and London Councils to write to update us on that. Another key point was action by the Met Police to enforce speed limits, especially 20-mile-per-hour zones. More Met Police enforcement against poor driver and cyclist behaviour. Enforcement of advanced stop lines and the Dutch approach to stricter liability. So those were some of the things that we flagged up in our report. But tonight I'm also really keen to hear from ideas, comments, suggestions that we can take forward. And I obviously, as a Green member of the Assembly, I'm totally committed to continuing to pursue the cycling agenda. Hopefully that for you, that goes without saying. But what I'm also pleased about now is that we've got a growing consensus cross-party on the Assembly for really pushing the cycling agenda forward and making this a safer and a better city for cyclists. Thank you.